Whew. So we're just jumping into this.
Yeah.
No.
The pictures tell the story. This life had many shades. I'd wake up every morning and before I'd start each day, I'd take a drag from last night's cigarette that smoldered in its tray. Down a little something, then be on my way.
What up,
Y'all,
all?
that was my bad.
Oops.
I clicked the background instead of the video.
I noticed that. I'm like, so
why
we're
is-
just doing this? Like you got rid of it. There you go.
Yeah, see, I clicked the wrong button.
Anyway, so take two. Hey guys, how's everybody doing? Obviously, we're back doing our dumb fuckery as usual. It's a motley crew, and you know what's bad is just some somewhat educated individuals. They're all involved in this, conglomerate of nonsense. But hey, we are back on a Thursday. Hopefully, everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving. If you didn't, that's okay too, because I too also don't like spending time with my family. So I get it. But if you did and you got fat a little bit, I know people that can help you work out. Otherwise, let's all raise a glass and drink and add calories.
Cheers, gentlemen. Be good to yourselves.
Like.
What's up?
So I didn't even. I'll be honest with you. I didn't do my homework. So did we come up with a topic tonight? Or are we just going to talk about some nonsense?
Well, I did actually. I had a question.
Okay.
It was actually spawned just a little bit from our conversation, obviously on our last show. We were talking about Wild Turkey 101, and that's what I came up with the title. What's in a number? Basically asking like, what is the distinction? Because I would challenge even you, Chuck, to tell me the distinction between something that's 100 proof and 101, and be able to taste them side by side and go, oh, that's definitely 101 proof versus 100 proof.
Mm-hmm.
So why put that shit on a bottle in the first place? Versus like even like 151, like you're already up there. Like, is there something just zingy about?
Just bring out Mad Dog 151.
Well, Bacardi 151, but yeah. But yeah, so like that. Like why that, those minor distinctions and you emblazon it all over a label, like it's going to make that much of a difference to anybody. But you like saying it rolls off the tongue, right? Like
Marketing.
Wild Turkey 101. Is it just marketing? Is there anything else at all to it? It's kind of like where's Jeff? We miss Jeff, man.
I miss Jeff too. It is puffery, I'm sure. But Chuck, tell us all about it. You're the godfather.
I'd love to, actually.
Okay.
If I could. No, really. I mean, I'm just going to take a shot in the dark here, but you have people that enjoy high proof bourbons, whiskeys, what have you. And of course, as we know, you have the other, people that are the same people that crap all over products such as 80 proof products. Which one is it that everybody craps on?
Basil Hayden.
Basil Hayden. Yes, thank you. You have that, people saying, hey, that's water, nothing more than flavored water, this, that, and the other, cigarette water, whatever it may be.
That's a new
one. And you have the other side where people are saying, oh, I need the high proof stuff, hazmat, anything over 140 or over or nothing. That's all I think it is. I mean, and plus product or distributors are saying, hey, look, we have, say, for example, this one here, 116.6 proof. Some people actually, have this conception that they can actually figure all that out. Between that one, I mean, I don't know if they could differentiate between 100 or even 90 and 101 for that matter, or even maybe a wider scale than that. I know I can't, because it depends on the taste and everything and how much you hide that in the product.
Yeah, I would just to concur with that, because like I've had 80 proof products that are we'll just say tougher to drink, or may have more burn or whatever, especially like if it's a younger drink or if it's if it's like a scotch, it's 80 proof and it can be a hell of a lot harder to drink than stuff that I've had that's like 115 or 120 proof. So like the distinction between 100 and 101, like doesn't in the grand scheme mean jack shit.
Right. I think we're just looking at people that are, I think for one, it's marketing. But it's also, I think, there to help people, figure out what they want to drink. It shouldn't be the main factor because there are good, there's good stuff out there at 80 proof. I mean, I'm not going to say Basil Hayden's the greatest thing in the world, but it has its place out there. It sells.
Sure.
Somebody's buying it. Just because Jack Shit the Ragman says it sucks. Great.
Jack Shit the Ragman.
But he wants 140 proof firewater. Cool.
Go get it.
Yeah. Have at it. But
we need to hashtag that.
There's people out there that are want to start at something lower proof because they don't want to burn their sinuses out or their tonsils and singe their nose hairs. So you have products like that are for people that are at their beginning stages of drinking bourbon and whiskey.
And I also think they do realize stuff like a Basil Hayden, a simple Knob Creek or Maker's Mark. You can find them in just about any hotel anywhere in the world. Mm-hmm. So listen, when the Biltmore Hotel down here in Miami and Coral Gables orders that shit, they order in cases of it, regularly. So, I think they're playing to a particular market where they know this is our low tier stuff and it's gonna always move. As more than anything else, it might actually support the company more than some of the high end stuff because there's less of a crowd of people who want that high proof stuff, and two, who's willing to pay that kind of money for it. So that's why you can find Jack Daniels in every corner of the universe. It's not very high proof. It's not very expensive. People know what it is. Hell, you just know what the label looks like, and it's a point and shoot. So,
But if you look at Basil Hayden, Billy, you have that running, say, at what is it, 80 proof?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You have that running price wise at say $54 to maybe $52 to $59. So you have to look at the prices too for, I know I'm going off in a different direction.
No, you're fine.
But, people starting out may want to try something else that's like, and I'm not going to say bottom shelf because we all know Evan Williams Bottle and Bond. Of course, that's 100 proof. But there's other options out there such as 86 proof, and I think that's Barton.
Like very old Barton?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Very old Barton comes in 86 or 100 proof.
Mm-hmm.
We can only get it here in Maryland at 86. They don't distribute 100 here. That's an option.
What do you think of Barton?
I like it.
Let's say at 86.
It's a solid pour. I mean, for the price, you can get a handle of that for what, $18.99?
Nice.
Around about $20.
Yeah. Further recommendations for my cheap ass brother, so he stops drinking Imperial.
You say that, but I'll drive to your house and they'll be sitting on your shelf.
It won't, in fact, but I'm not. You're not going to find any $400 bottles here either. Check the name, folks. Check the name.
But not only that, though, I would think most stores, they need to have something that the people who are throwing parties and stuff like that, who don't know a whole lot about anything, they just know they want some kind of whiskey or bourbon that they can pour with Coke or whatever, you know? Yeah. And they can sell that shit all day. If it's $20, hell, give me 4 of them. Let's just call it a day, you know? And
see, that's where I think Basil Hayden's makes out.
Yeah.
Because they sit on the shelf with those other run-of-the-mill bourbons, whiskeys. And here they are. They got the fancy label.
Yeah.
Fancy
nice
name.
Paper. Yeah.
Nice little, paper like bib over top of it. Oh, nice fancy name. And they're a little bit more expensive.
Yeah.
That's how they make out. They found their niche, so to say, in their marketing niche. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with that versus anything else you're going to find in that range.
Yeah,
But they found their niche to market their product.
Yeah, it's really nice for a more novice whiskey drinker, someone who has discovered there's a larger world than Jack Daniels.
Yeah, he's moving on from Jack Daniels and
it's
Jim
easy
Beam
to
White Label.
drink, right?
Yeah, he's moving on from Jim Beam White Label, Jack Daniels, Evan Williams Black Label, and he sees that on the shelf, and it's like, hey, let me try that. It looks pretty, upscale.
What do they call that? What was it, the Bud Light commercials they used to do, talking about like drinkability or whatever? Like, that's what I always associate like Basil Hayden as that. It's like the Bud Light of whiskey, which is
because
I'll drink Bud Light too. So again, this is not me dogging it out.
and like we're talking about, someone just like Chuck was saying, someone just getting into bourbons and whiskeys and not knowing any better yet, or for like a better term, not that experienced in doing it. Hey, there's this. Looks pretty fancy, a little bit more money. Let me give it a peek.
You'll feel good about it if you're a person who's
you think you're moving up the bourbon or whiskey scale, I guess you could say.
You bought something that's a little bit nicer. It looks fancy. You can drink it, and it doesn't. You don't feel disgusted, by the palate or whatever.
Yep.
And you feel a little bit, you're a fancy lad with it.
Sure.
So,
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think I'm gonna move more towards like the Penelopes now, only because of it's a quality product, but it's still at a reasonable price point.
Oh yeah.
Whereas, and I would contend that it's definitely a lot of their expressions, specifically their barrel strength and also the toasted barrel are as good as any other allocated whiskey that's out there.
Yeah, I love their toasted.
I need to really start getting into that. I've only had them, I think, over at your place, but yeah, they're great bottles from what I've experienced.
The Architect's pretty nice too.
Yeah, the Architect's real nice.
It is. I mean, I think their products are one of the best values out there right now.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Because we have, we're looking at products that are just skyrocketing in price.
Yeah. I told you yesterday what I saw Elijah Craig barrel proof for. Wow. 175.
Yeah,
I passed on it, obviously. This was at a retailer, right? And I'm like, the hell with that, dude.
I'm gonna go out to Liquor Planet tomorrow, probably.
Just let me know. I'll Venmo you.
Yeah, I'll let you know if I find a bottle out there, if they still got them.
Yeah, just let me know.
Oddly enough, Belvini 12, the Caribbean cask, has actually went down in price.
Not here, it hasn't, man. It was over $100 when I looked last. I was like, "Fuck my life!" What? Because I wanted to pick up a bottle, and it was.
You sure it wasn't 14?
14 year.
Belvini 14.
The 14 is the Caribbean cask. The 12 isn't the Caribbean cask.
Whichever one is the Caribbean cask is the one I always get.
Yeah.
Down to $67.
Wow.
I've not seen.
It's usually 75 to 90.
Yeah, here it's always 75 to 80.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, didn't hesitate. And then I happened to go to another store and it was the same price. So I don't know if it's a Florida thing or whatever the case may be.
But it was the Caribbean cask.
That's the only one I get.
I know.
It's the only one I get.
Yeah, because when I looked, it was. I thought that the 14 was the only one that was Caribbean cask. If they have a 12 Caribbean cask, I'll be happy all day. But the one I saw, I could swear to you, was over $100, and it was the Caribbean cask. But I know that was the 14. So if they've got a 12, maybe I'm missing something. I'm not trying to call anybody out.
For me, it's not $100 bottle. Not for me.
No, it's not. It's not. It's good, but it's not that good.
Yeah,
I do miss it.
To get back on that, Basil Hayden, I also think that's a good summertime drink.
Mm-hmm.
I brought the Toasted along last year on vacation with me when the first batch came out, and I thought it was pretty great. Pretty good for nice summertime drink. Very light, not something that's going to burn or be astringent or anything like that. I thought it was a really nice pour. And I drank it, of course, like I typically do, just, straight into the glass, no ice or anything like that. No water at the first one, for at least for the first one. But I'm not saying anybody else should drink like I do. You can drink however you want, but
bingo. Yep.
Yeah, I took
it.
a bottle of Toasted to the Lake with me this summer.
I got the regular Baden Hazel right there on the shelf behind me.
Nothing wrong with it.
No, I enjoy it every now and then.
Yeah,
I don't have a problem with it. I mean, I tend to like higher proof bourbons and whiskeys, but I mean, definitely if I'm out like at a dinner or something, I'm okay with that. I mean, it's just like a typical Maker's Mark. If I go to a restaurant and they have Maker's Mark, I'm going to get that. I mean, I'm going to get anything that's not Jack Daniel's or Scotch. I'm going to drink that. So, and you will find typically Basil Hayden at many of the restaurants around here. Same with Maker's Mark, and definitely Woodford's. Now, Woodford is probably the only one that I haven't really seen from one of the traditional ones go up crazy in price recently. I mean, it's still, and I don't understand that because I don't understand the marketing aspect of it. I understand, trust me, I understand inflation. I absolutely understand how that works. But I don't get how it's only affecting, we'll just say Buffalo Trace or Elijah Craig or some Heaven Hill products. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand why it's not affecting like Woodford. They all use the same stuff.
Maybe it is to I guess with a question, maybe it is affecting them and they're choosing to eat the cost or a lot of it. And rather than pass along that increased cost to the consumers, and maybe as a way of increasing loyalty and or market share. I don't know.
That's where I was going to go with it.
But I think
if everyone else is going up, I can still get Woodford.
Keep your price the same.
I'm gonna keep getting Woodford, man.
Yeah, you keep your price the same. You could gain more customers.
Now, the bad thing about Woodford is you're not going to get a higher proof. I mean,
no,
typically
it is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, you can get like what does that have?
The batch proof or the Masters collection.
Yeah, the Masters collection. This is this is still only 90.4 proof.
Yeah, they're not super high, and they don't need to be. Like, I can't think of anyone who's had Woodford and be like, well, I wish it was higher proof. Everyone I've talked to, like literally everyone I've talked to,
I seriously enjoy their double oak.
Enjoys
double
oak is like,
I mean, that is
just sealed delivered. If you don't like double oak, I think you probably just don't like bourbon.
And I could care less what the proof point is on that. That's a delicious pour.
And it's easy to get. Costco still has it. The big bottles, it looks good. Hell, if you really wanted to give it out for Christmas, it'll be an easy Christmas gift. Nobody's going to re-gift that shit.
Yeah.
No.
Thank you.
Well, I just for the record, anybody sends me any bourbon, unless it's less than 4 years old, it's not going to be re-gifted. And even if it's less than 4 years old, it's not going to be re-gifted either.
Or if it's Jack Daniels, or
well, if it's Jack Daniels, I mean, most people know that Jack Daniels
Creek water.
It is. It's horrible, but and I don't care
I
what
keep
anybody says.
Slaughterhouse.
But like yesterday when I was in the store.
Slingers.
God, that's horrible too.
It really is.
Slaughterhouse and fucking lead slingers. I'd rather be ass raped by a donkey. Anyway,
Where's Mark?
Yeah, buddy.
I don't know why I get myself into this.
I mean, he's even got it hanging on the wall there behind him. It's like, yeah, buddy.
It's a reminder of who's boss, who's standing behind me. That's what it is. But anyway, what I was going to say is that there's when it comes to what I'm looking for now in bourbon, price point's definitely huge. And so yesterday I was walking through my local. And I had already asked about the barrel proof up there, and I seen they had like 10 of them. And he said it's 175, and I was like, yeah, whatever. And I almost turned around and just walked out, but I was like, I'll take a stroll down the aisles just to look. And the Penelope is still pleasantly surprised at a good price. Then you have the Blue Note, which is fantastic, and they always have store picks of those a lot of times, and they are always really, really good in my opinion. And the juke joint and stuff like that, which is also a Blue Note. But I've only seen one of them recently, like one bottle The Big Mustache is out there still, and that's 100 proof bottle, you know. So there's definitely still some quality, really good quality bourbons that are out there. And, you know, for the bourbon drinker, definitely since we're talking about the holidays and stuff, there's nothing wrong. Like, if you guys all know I love bourbon just like everybody on this show. If any of you guys show up at my house with a Woodford's, that's going to be cool. We're going to drink it.
Yeah.
I mean,
our
signature bottle is a Woodford, you know, so it's going to be liked and loved here, you know. And of course any of the other ones, I don't really understand the like I said, the bourbon market's all being hit by the same cost coming across everywhere. And then, you know, Sazerac just put a ginormous investment into Buffalo Trace. I think it was $90 million, if I'm correct by that. No, $900 million. All right. So almost $1 billion into investments for more rick houses and product and supply. Do you think that's going to bring down the price? And the answer is no. I really don't think that.
No.
I think it's just like with gasoline. We're never going to see $2 again. It is what it is. They get us comfortable at 3 something and we're going to stay there. And then when it goes down to 305, we're like, hell yes, this is awesome.
Yep.
But let me add to that.
267, man. I was excited.
They got to do something about this fucking diesel fuel. I'm sorry.
I bet it's brutal.
I agree with that.
That shit is out of control.
Well, there's also a limit on it right now too. Like they're running out of supply on it.
Jeez.
Which is crazy because it's a byproduct of gasoline.
Yeah.
So it doesn't even make sense. None of it makes sense right now.
No, honestly. It doesn't make sense, seeing as how we've got the greatest reserves of oil in the world.
Yep, just like the greatest reserves of bourbon in the world. But anyway, let's move on and talk about that.
Yeah. Let's get on to happier topics.
Like drinking more.
Chuck,
what's everybody drinking tonight, by the way,
man.
before we continue on? What's everybody into tonight? Wanted to ask.
All right,
found this
so
the other day. This is
Dad's
hat.
Dad's hat.
Bottled in bond, 100 proof.
Nice.
I've never had that.
Okay, not a problem. I'll take care of that.
No. I said I've never had it.
That's okay. I'll take care of that.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Yeah.
I'll take care of that.
Yeah, I got you. I was not saying that it's not because I don't like it or anything.
Nope.
I've never tried it.
It's a very good rye.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. I enjoy the regular. And I happened to see this sitting on the shelf. I said, oh, hell yeah. Why not? And it's kind of like, it's pretty much like the regular. It's more deep in flavor, more herbaceous.
Mm.
And
herbaceous. Okay.
Yeah.
He's been reading
you
can
taste those herbs. You can't really pinpoint them. They're just there. And then right at the finish, a little bit of pepper. And then that nice buttered rye bread toast.
Nice.
Man, you better watch out, Chuck. He's coming for you.
I was just going to ask you.
I hold nothing. I hold nothing on
Do I
Chuck.
see a little ascot popping out from your shirt there?
Yeah, because it's like I hold nothing on Chuck. It's like
I was like, woo!
I've learned from Chuck on trying to pay attention to what I'm
That's
tasting
awesome.
and make that connection to that taste that I've had in the past. And sometimes I can't make that full connection. And I'm like, it's something like this, but not like this, but almost like this.
Next, he's gonna
Chuck,
pop out with a Mission Pipe.
Chuck, yeah, this
That's
is like
right,
2-day-old popcorn with the salt and butter mix on it. Chuck
tonight-
nails it.
Very
So
nice. What
tonight
you got
I'm
there,
having just some Buffalo Trace. So unfortunately, the wife caught COVID.
Oh man.
Oh man.
Just after Thanksgiving.
How's she doing?
No, she's fine. She never lost her taste. She tested negative today, so
Good.
everything's good to go. I never had any symptoms whatsoever. She was under the weather for a few days, but she's like, I can't leave the house and I don't have any more bullet. I was like, are you kidding me? All this goddamn alcohol in this house, you can't find something to drink? And she's like, I don't know what to open. I'm like, whatever the fuck you want. So I'm like, there's Buffalo Trace in here. There's everything. What do you? I'm like, are you kidding me? She's like, I don't want to open. I'm like, listen, anything in this house you want to open, you can open. So she opened up the Buffalo Trace. So I said,
Yeah.
"The hell with it. Just
Yeah.
keep going with it."
Might as well.
Yeah, but no, she tested negative today, so
Awesome.
she's gonna take the weekend and relax.
Good.
Just in time too, because a good friend of mine is having a wedding on Saturday, and I was bummed that she wasn't gonna be able to go, but now she can go. But yeah, knock on wood, I had 0 symptoms, no nothing. I just felt like, you know what, I'll just assume I got it, but I'm not getting tested. But no symptoms, never lost my taste. The beautiful thing is I got to do a COVID test every day. It's like, let's see if I can taste this burger.
Taste it. That's the best kind of COVID test. No, still ain't lost the taste.
Not to interrupt again,
We'll
but
again
that's what I found interesting with December getting here already. I was able to finally sample the birthday gift my son got me. It was a whiskey advent calendar.
I've seen that.
I've been waiting to try this damn thing. Yeah. Day number 1, bitch, you're mine. But it's nice.
And
stuff.
I bet he said it just like that. Come here, bitch.
Come to Santa.
Trying to get that damn little container out of that little tiny hole. It's like get these fat fingers in there. It's like.
I think for those of you guys who are just now tuning in, we are talking about bourbon.
Yeah.
All right. So
I was going to say, Jody, just to interrupt you quick, I think we got a nickname for you finally, Gino. You're going to be Bad Santa.
Bad Santa. Okay.
Yeah.
We've been looking for a Santa so we could do our Christmas parade. But anyway.
There you go.
Want to come sit on my lap, little boy, huh?
Oof.
Oh, boy. Logging off.
I don't want to be associated with that. I don't think that's what we're talking about here. Anyway, look, Joe Biden. So I'm having the Elijah Craig Toasted Barrel tonight. I'm started with that, and I haven't decided if I'm going to go to the Rumcast Jefferson's Reserve or go to the Rebel Yale. This is the 10-year.
That's
nice.
Either one's good.
That must be an older bottle, right? Because it's still called Rebel Yell.
Yeah, it was back when it was. Yeah, it was back when it was still cool.
It was never cool. But go ahead.
I was talking about the whiskey.
All right, Chuck. What are you drinking, sir?
Tonight I'm drinking Florida Cana.
Nice.
Now is that a rum?
Yes, it's. Let me see here. It says it's 18 years old, and I know that rum companies have been trying to buck the trend of not being as transparent as they should be. So they're trying to push more transparency into their products now. So it looks, I believe this one actually is, and they don't use sugar in this one, which they don't dose it or anything. And of course, they're fair trade certified and distilled using green energy and yada, yada, yada. And we're special. But so far, I like it. On the nose, and it's funny, Gene, I was just thinking about this when you were mentioning, salted popcorn and all that stuff. I was just saying toffee, vanilla, and it's like saltwater taffy that you would get at the beach when you go, at least being anyway, like go to Rehoboth,
hell yeah,
Rehoboth or Ocean City. You get the saltwater taffy there, and that's what I get out of this, right on the nose, and some graham cracker.
You just sold me that bottle, like you really did, with that comment about Rehoboth and Ocean City. The boardwalk taffy.
Yeah,
yeah, that's like. That was like our tradition when I was a kid. We would go out there and rent one of those little condos.
And the vanilla, right at like the very end of it's phenomenal. It's not a vanilla extract. It's more like a toffee vanilla mixed together, like I said with the candy. But yeah, it's very good, and it's very viscous. And basically the flavors play through from the nose to the taste, but it's very viscous. It's not very off-putting at all. The alcohol just lingers in the background. It doesn't hit you hard. It's very light, very pleasant. Little bit of like a floral taste in there as well. And at the very end, it's vanilla toffee. Little bit of pepper for a finish. I really like it a lot.
Good. That sounds
It's very good. And
yeah.
the thing that I really like about it a lot is that the sugar content just isn't there. It's not dosed.
Yeah, it's sweet, but it's not sweet.
Yeah, it is sweet, but it's not overbearing.
So is it sugar cane they use for that instead? How do they do
It's
that?
molasses. Yeah.
Molasses. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly, but I believe with this one, I think it mentioned sugar cane somewhere.
Yeah. Florida
Cool.
kind of flower of the cane. I don't know. I'm guessing at the translation there.
I tried recently, well, almost out of it, is that Bacardi 8-year, and this one's a finished one. And that's what I kind of liked about it too. The alcohol was there, but it didn't lead the parade, so to speak. It was just there in the background.
That's good to know. Yeah, I'm gonna have to pick up another Florida counter.
That's very nice. Yeah, I'm gonna have to find that one. I think I remember seeing it. Just have to remember where.
And
As far as the Bacardi, I was looking at the 8, then there's a 10-year as well.
Mhm.
So I picked up the 10-year a few weeks back. Haven't opened that one yet.
Okay. Yeah, I was tossing back and forth. They had the 10-year, they had the 8 regular, and they had this 8 that I picked up that was finished in the sherry casks.
Okay.
And so
And Chuck,
I ended up getting the sherry cask one.
Just for our knowledge, what does that that rum go for, Florida Cana?
Oh, this one. Let me take a look here. Pretty sure it was right in the ballpark of right around $50.
Yeah, I want to say it's in the 50s to 60 range. I guess depending on which age, which I've always been like, I've never tried it. I don't know anything about it. I've passed on that so many times on the shelf, but I've always wondered about it. And now, like, basically, like, I'm super excited. Like, I don't think I've ever been so excited to hear tasting notes as I was those ones.
Yeah, it's like, I'm right with you there, because I've seen it, and I've seen it fairly regular. I just don't remember where the hell I've seen it.
And
Now I've got to go hunting.
Mark, we miss you too, man. Hope you're doing good. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving.
And I've never heard a
Real quick, I
tasting
hope
note
he's gotten
before.
his bourbon that I shipped to him. So just let us know there, Mark.
I don't know. He's in KC now, man.
Yeah.
It might be sitting outside his house. Anyway, go ahead, Billy. Sorry.
No, I was saying that the fact that he named graham cracker as a tasting note, that's interesting. I'm not a big rum guy, but I think I'll definitely check that out now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the price of this one was $52.99.
Nice.
Oh, sweet. Can't beat
It's
that.
very doable. Yeah. Very doable.
What about you, David? What you drinking on?
Drinking the Redwood Empire. This is Lost Monarch.
Oh,
That's funny. I was going to drink that
delicious.
tonight too.
Yeah, God, I love it. It's
Mhm.
so good. And one of the things that I love about this, because it is kind of a rye blend, it's great for people who are a little bit intimidated by rye. I've actually shared that not too long ago with someone's like, yeah, I tried rye. I kind of had a bad experience. I was like, hey, try this. And then, and give it a second chance, and dude loved it. So it really, I cannot recommend it more strongly for that. Again, it's not super hot. It's blended. It's very, very balanced. It's maybe, in terms of criticism, maybe slightly on the young side, but that doesn't really come out too obviously, at least not to me. I really enjoy it. I'm kind of a fanboy of Redwood Empire. I really enjoy this one. This is one of the few ones I got a backup of. So, cheers, brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you like Redwood Empire, you might like the cask strengths that they're offering right now. I believe it's Lost Monarch,
There it is.
Pipe
Yes.
Dream,
Yep. And I've tried that too. That's excellent.
and a few others. One more. I think there's 3 of them that they introduced, and they're like a bluish gray label, dark blue.
Gotta look for him.
I've not really seen them. I guess I've just been happy and pleased enough just to see the regular offerings.
Yeah.
At my locals. and just be like, hey, I can actually get this here. Because I heard about it, in the bourbon groups and stuff like that for probably at least a couple of years, and just always been intrigued and always wanted to try it. And then like when it finally showed up, I bought like one of every one available. And I've enjoyed them all. Lost Monarchs probably is my favorite. Pipe Dream's really good too.
Well, what I was going to say is this is the one I had yesterday for I was recognizing the death of Christine McVeigh, who was the piano player, one of the songwriters for Fleetwood Mac. So that was huge. Sir. But
okay,
on this one right here is the Haystack Needle double barrel port cast, and this is a 12-year, and this is a Redwood Empire as well. On the nose, it has a lot of the darker dried fruits, kind of like dried cherries, maybe a little bit blended in there with a little bit like roasted, almonds maybe. Then it definitely has a caramel on the nose as well, but the taste of it is definitely vanilla, dried cherry, dried chocolate or cocoa, with a nice little ginger kick, and then you pick up the flavors from the port that you would expect, and so it has a really nice finish, the wine finish to it. So if you can find it, but I don't think you can right now. I haven't seen this one out since I bought this one like 2 years ago.
Okay. I've never seen that one either.
And Dave, I was gonna say, if you like that one, look for the Rocket Top.
I will. I don't know if I'll find it, but I'll look for it.
Yeah, that's their extended rye, so to say,
to
speak. But very good.
Nice. So,
check it out.
Chuck, what we got for bourbon news? Anything new and interesting coming out before the year ends?
Oh, there's plenty of things coming out before the year ends. But the stuff that's coming out there's a lot of stuff. Well, there's one from Bardstown Bourbon. They're coming out with one of their special releases. It's aged in bourbon, in beer barrels.
Aged in bourbon.
Yeah, aged in bourbon barrels. Yes. How about that?
That's how we do it.
Yeah.
Who'd have thought?
But yeah, it's aged in beer barrels. So, you have that. I don't know what the price of that's going to be. I'm hoping it's not super expensive like they've been getting. Because that's one of the things that's been pushing me away from them lately.
They're just Bardstown. Bardstown.
Yeah, they're just overpricing
skyrocketing
themselves.
Yep.
Yeah, I came across them up in Kentucky a couple weeks ago at a store, and I was like, "That's just fucking ridiculous pricing." And
how much?
Well, all the discoveries were 145 and above. All right, depending on which one it was, and they had 7, 8, and 9 there. I think they had 9. I could be wrong about that, but I know they had 7 and 8. All right. Then they also had, which I already have, the collaborative, which was right at $200, which is not what it's supposed to be, anywhere close to MSRP.
Right.
And then they had Prisoner, which was about 129, I believe it was. And
that's about right.
Then they had, I already have one of those thanks to my boy Gino, or Bad Santa, whatever we're calling him now.
They're 150 up here now.
I like it.
And then they also had, I don't think they had Founders, but they had the other one that has the cognac in it, or it's aged. It could have been. I'm not sure, but they had that one, and that was right at $200 as well.
Okay.
So I passed on all of those, to be honest with you, because
that's a lot.
120 is about what I've always seen historically. 119, 120. Historically seen the Discovery series, and they've all shot up tremendously. At least a 10 to 20% increase in cost. Now, if they can articulate that to why it's costing more, then I may be interested in. But I'm more inclined to think it's because of the new investments that they've made or taken on, and I think that's where we're, as a consumer, getting to share the cost.
Sure.
So, my thoughts on that. But it's still probably my favorite bourbon on the market is Bardstown, followed really closely behind by Elijah Craig. And then one I'm trying to keep very secretive because I don't want I know that they're here locally, and Clark would be terribly pissed that I'm not spouting it as much. but the company is freaking fantastic.
Boom.
It really is.
Yes, it is.
And it's a great price point for it. Now they just released a cast strength, but it was crazy bidding because I think it was only one barrel they did.
Jeez.
And so it was very limited bottles.
Yeah, it's like this bottle that showed up on my doorstep. It's something on the glass of the bottle, and it's like, yeah, that bottle will never be empty.
Yeah, it's signed.
But that is damn good stuff.
Yeah, you and Mark both got signed bottles.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's what you saw on the
Delicious
VIP. I was bugging Rob about that. I was able to get a bottle. I'm trying to send it to him because he's been so busy with travels and stuff like that. You can just send me his address so I can send him that.
I have his address.
I mean, dog shampoo. But yeah,
Dog shampoo's the way to go.
Olive
Every
oil.
time I go to UPS
Olive
store right
oil.
now,
yeah.
they know when I go in there,
Evu.
they're like, man, I think it's so great what you do about this charity where you're shipping dog shampoo and treats.
Dude, I had to lie at the post office today. It was great because the kiosk was broken. Like they weren't doing the packages, so I had to go in there. So I had to lie to an actual human being today instead of a machine.
What'd you go with?
Oh, they didn't. They just asked me if there was any liquids or anything flammable or anything else like that. I'm like, nope.
Neither are they're not.
No,
They're not
Nope.
flammable,
Can I pay now?
and it's not
Can I
liquid.
pay now $16? Okay, that's great. Let's go.
Speaking of which, yeah, it should be there tomorrow, Billy.
Looking forward to
I
it.
meant to ask you that, Billy. Did you want a company as well? I can always go find them. They're pretty regular in this area, so if you're looking for one or want one, I can get you one out.
That would be a yes, because the first bottle you sent me, there's still about that much in it, and I refuse. It's sitting in the back.
I didn't
Like
send
I-
it to you. Wink, wink. It was spontaneously arrived.
Yeah.
It just
Right.
appeared one day.
We used our magic of our minds.
Teleportation.
Jedi
The
mind
power
trick.
of imagination.
Rainbows and unicorns. We just got it there.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It's hilarious.
So what else is coming out, Chuck, that we can be excited about for?
Oh, I don't know if we should be excited about this one or not, but it's
Mm.
Russell's Reserve single rick house. They introduced one a few months back, priced at about 250 and up.
Yeah.
Nope.
And
Is that
thanks
that
to
13 year?
No, this is totally different from that single rick house project that they did. I think the last one was rick house or something C. This one is F. So I think they're going to try to squeeze, everything they can out of this. Campari's doing a great job with, it's Camp Nelson F is what it is. The other one was Camp Nelson C. And this one's matured on floors 4 and 5. So I'm guessing they're going to milk this one for everything they can.
Can't blame 'em.
No, of course not.
No.
Because I guess what they're thinking is like everybody else, all the other distilleries, they're looking at the secondary market and they're saying, "Hey, yeah, we could sell, like the 13 year.
Mhm.
Last year it was $79.99, and
350.
this year it went to $120.
350 in the secondary.
Yeah, it went up to $600 for a while.
Yeah.
Back when someone gave it a really great, really praised it on their show, it went way up. And
Was that Bourbon Junkies?
no,
Because
And
they a
then-
lot of times, I like those guys, but they a lot of times they can influence the cost of bourbon locally.
oh, of course.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
How they
Yeah,
say?
I mean-
Glorious bastards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have the the distilleries trying to basically take up some of that. Why not? If somebody's going to make money, why not? Why not it be them?
Well, yeah, that's the point. That's why I can't fault them for pricing it like that. Something that's special like that. I mean, they took the risk. They made the investment and let that age.
Yeah,
They're the ones that took the risk. They should be the ones reaping the reward,
Absolutely.
not some Joe Schmo on the secondary.
Oh, that part I
I mean,
agree
get
with
what
you.
you can get. That's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
The secondary is ridiculous. Have you guys seen the pricing on the 22 GTS? It's all because of the heat on it.
Right.
What are they asking, or what are they getting?
It's 2,000 and above is what I've seen in secondary.
Kiss my ass.
Yeah, seriously.
I'll say it again. Kiss my ass.
I mean, I can do a quick search real quick and just tell you, but it's right around 2,000 for sure.
No.
I see people
and people do it. I mean, that's always the thing. We keep coming back to this topic, but because it never ceases to amaze me. People will spend that much more than MSRP on bourbon.
No same people will do that, so they can take a picture, post it on the internet, put it on a shelf, and probably never drink it.
I got a question about that. So I was having I had kind of a discussion with myself. Some people call that schizophrenia or some other type of mental illness, and I'm okay with that. But I was sitting there the other day, and I was looking at the Queen's bottle I got from Copper Sky, and there's only one of 70 of those bottles, right? Yeah. And I think they're 26 years is the. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Either way,
that bottle would never go empty.
Right. Well, I agree with you, but you sit there and you think about it. Should you open it? Like, what do you use that for to open it? Like right now, it's sitting there with just the crown on top of it, just sitting on my shelf, and I'm like, it's exactly like you just described. But I know there's only 70 of them.
So this is the way I would look at it. You can think of it as an investment piece, if you will, because you can get some money out of it. But if you position yourself where you're in a position to not worry about that kind of thing, open it. Mm-hmm. I mean, I have intention on opening every bottle I have here at some point. Oh, yeah. It's not about money. I'm not going to try to sell it. And for me, it's just, hell, I do 90% of the drinking in this house. So it's just going to take me some time to get to it. But I'm getting there.
I do 99% of the drinking in this house.
It's not going to be the same. But I can equate it like this. When I ran into Blood Oath this year, it's the first time I had seen it. As soon as I saw it, it was in my hands. I was not going to set it back down on the shelf. That was coming home with me. And I don't know if I'll ever see it again next year when they come out with the new pact. But I opened it. And it was with my fraternity reunion and sat around with my brothers.
What fraternity were you in?
I was with Theta Xi. Still am. And
I'm a Sigma Chi forever too, so I understand that. And I was just asking.
But sitting down with my brothers at the reunion this summer and poured each one of them a dram of that. And we all enjoyed it. Put the cork back in the bottle, back in the case. I haven't opened it since, but if another special occasion comes up, that bottle will come out and we'll drink from that bottle.
So I'm like that with, and it's only because I feel that it's seasonal, but like the Midwinter's Night Drum, it's a fantastic pour, but it's so unique that I think it has to be consumed over an open fire. Like you have to be outside
in the cold,
in the cold, having this, because that way I really believe it opens up a lot of the not only the smelling notes, but also the tasting notes. I think it opens up all of it. And I have several of those bottles, and I'm sitting there going, man, I'm never going to get through those because it doesn't get cold enough here in Tennessee for like long stretches of time to where I'm going, I'm going to have another one of those tonight,
It's probably about a 5, maybe 6 hour drive, but yeah, you can make it up here, and it's supposed to be single digits. Single digits with a wind chill in the morning. We can try that shit out, man. It's not a problem.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I have some time over the next, not this weekend, but over the next couple of weekends, except for the 11th, I have a football banquet. But outside of that, I would gladly drive up to West Virginia and hang out with you for a weekend. If I got a place to stay, the only request I have is if you're gonna smoke cigars, only because I'm allergic to smoke, we need to be outside.
It's too damn cold to be outside smoking. I do all my smoking outside. It's too damn cold.
Okay, cool. So this is gonna work. This is a match made in
There it
heaven.
is,
All right,
Yeah.
all right. So I'll get with you on the offline, and we'll make arrangements. But I also got to make arrangements to go down to Miami in the next couple weeks too. But there's a difference. Driving to West Virginia is only 5 or 6 hours. I'm about to fly to Miami, and then I have to then trust my host. He's not going to take me to the fucking Dirty Rabbit or whatever.
I will lose all respect for Billy if he doesn't. I just want you to know,
yeah,
Billy.
buddy.
And then also,
and I don't think I'm alone in that. I think there's some group peer pressure here.
And then also, he's going to take me to Pork and Beans. And
of course,
potentially just leave me there for a little
hit
while.
Or miss on that one. That one's fine. But Dirty Rabbit.
Don't worry about the Pork and Beans.
I'm not trying to get.
But
get
the Dirty Rabbit.
But like,
yeah.
I just want to see how fast he does in a 440. That's all,
That's funny. But Jody,
kind of fast, but I'm not that fast.
To your earlier point, like find, with regards to the Queen's bottle or whatever it's the Copper Sky thing, like find a good reason to open it. Maybe you don't open it because it's Tuesday or whatever, and you feel like it. Like, I mean, you can if you want, but like, something.
See, I was thinking
something
this is what I was
noteworthy.
thinking. All right, so we're getting close to the end of the show anyhow. So tomorrow, USC plays in the Pac-12 championship against Utah. All right, if they win
tomorrow,
that is tomorrow, 7 p.m. I'm doing ribs that Billy taught me how to do on the flat top, and fantastic. Super excited about it. But anyway, so if they win there, they then go to the playoffs. All right.
Sweet.
It's unlikely in Lincoln Riley's first year that they're going to win in the playoffs. But let's just say they do. All right. Let's say they go all the way to the national championship. I'd have to open it then. You know what I'm saying? Because that's my school where I went to college. I've been a fan since I was a wee little kid,
Oh yeah.
And wee little man. It's funny. So I think that would be a novel time to potentially open it.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to fly out to Las Vegas tomorrow and go to the game. But I actually chose against it because it's Christmas time and money's not tight by any means here, but I don't need to be frivolously spending money in our current economy. So,
but then again,
Vegas, baby.
It's one of those things, and that's why I chose to open the Blood Oath. That's, to me, it's very precious.
Well, now if I had some of my military buddies that I served with overseas and stuff,
that's one thing.
Yeah,
but it's like with my fraternity brothers, we're all getting up there in age. I'm one of the youngest ones that's remaining, and I don't know if I'll see them next year. So I pulled that cork.
You should.
So I look at it like this: life in itself is very short and very precious.
Mm-hmm.
I can safely say we're probably all going to die with some bourbon left in the house unopened.
Not if I can help it.
And I can tell you,
he's going to go out. We know how he's going to die. It's going to be alcohol poison.
Yeah. But I can tell you, whoever gets a hold of it is not going to know what it's worth, and just is probably going to end up selling it. They're not going to keep it.
See, I disagree.
That's one of the beautiful things. That's why I make sure I pull every one of my corks. Go ahead and sell that. That bottle's partially empty. Good luck with that.
My son though, he really enjoys having he loves to sit and talk about different bottles that I have and stuff like that, and he's really interested in because he's been around my family. My family has a lot of alcoholics in it, and he sees that I don't drink like that, and he's so he's like, so Dad, what is it with you? And I'm like, honestly, I love the way it tastes. Like we go to one of the things I picked up when I moved to Tennessee. I love sweet iced tea. If we go to have dinner anywhere, I'm always getting a sweet iced tea, and it's because it tastes freaking good to me. I love the taste of it, right? So it's kind of the same way with bourbon. I like the way that I love the notes. I love how you can talk about it and have or what I love most is if all of us were sitting in a room together and we were all sharing a singular bottle, we may not pick up any of the same notes, but we may pick up a lot of the same notes, or maybe we identify those notes differently. And I find that to be a very intellectual, inspiring conversation that leads to what we're doing right now.
Exactly.
You know, having conversation about really nothing that grew from, you know, COVID, not being able to hang out to a show that we do almost every Thursday.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah.
Hey, I started in the background watching this show. I don't remember exactly how I found it. I think I found it through some of Billy's cooking things, and learned a lot with the show. And it's like, man, I gotta get in with these guys. These guys really know what the hell's going on. And then I really found out, and it was like, Chuck knows what's going on.
The rest of these idiots,
you know,
but
and the rest
Chuck,
of these guys are just here to get the information from Chuck.
That's it.
I mean, that's all truths. But real quick though, so you found Billy through him saying some things about our show, which is great because I found Billy and Mark because our diversity numbers were low. So with that, guys, everybody have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you guys.
I think
again.
we just figured out why we haven't been kicked off this thing.
Yeah.
Love all y'all.
He's like, it's working.
Oh, man.
Well, I mean, that's kind of a true story. So it is what it is. Anyway, peace out, guys. Have a wonderful evening. Be good to yourself.
Love you all.
See you next week.